Today we're going to explain how early corn planters were used to plant corn so that when the corn came up it looked like a checkerboard and you could cultivate the corn both lengthways and crossways.
Corn planter, a horse corn planter. It's a two-row corn planter. In other words, it plants 2 rows at a time. Put the corn in the boxes here on either side, and plants. This is a number 999 or 999 corn planter. John Deere earlier made a number 9 corn planter. Then they made a 99 corn planter. And this is one of the last horse planters they made. 999. A lot of these planters in later years, people cut the tongue short on them, hooked a tractor to them, and used them. This here particular planter is set at 38-inch rows. A lot of times nowadays they planted 30-inch rows apart, or even narrower. But back then they planted a lot of times 38-inch rows, 40-inch rows, or 42-inch rows because they wanted their rows wide enough so that a horse could walk between the rows. Okay. This wire planter here is also set up that you can do what they call drill corn, which means that it'll just drop corn every so many spaces if you want it to, and to set how fast and how close together you want it. It's got numbers here, 2, 3, and 4. You can set it at. It's also set up with a spool of wire. Back when they early planted corn, they did not have weed spray, so they planted with a wire. I got a piece of wire here. This wire has knots on it. These knots are every 38 inches, the same width as the rows on the planter. So, okay, the planter is also set up. It has the real wet ground you're planting on. It has a lever here for scrapers, so it can scrape the mud off of your boxes and that. On a horse planter, it's made so that when you get to the end, you pick it up, and the tongue is stiff. And when you get done, and you're turned around and you're ready to go back again, you take this, you put it in gear, and it takes weight off of the tongue. Your horses will get, when they feel that weight come off their tongue, they'll a lot of times start to walk out. These are the markers set for you to drive by. You go down, as you're going down the field, you're going this way, this marker here, drag in the ground and leave a mark. So when you turn around on the end, your tongue will straddle that mark and you'll know where to drive coming back. A lot of people have asked me, they say, well, with a corn planter, a horse corn planter, you got to get out on the ends each time and move the markers. But you don't. It's just a real simple idea with a rope, and it works real good. You're at the end of the field and you're going to turn. As you turn, this marker comes up, the other one comes down, and when you get turned around, you're ready to go back. Now, if you're going to check corn, you'd go out to your field and you go to the one side of the field, and to the one end of it, and you take this wire here, and you fasten on this stake. This stake here, this particular planter has a gadget here that has a spring on it, so it helps you keep the same amount of tension on things. You put this in the ground all the way, and you start driving to the other end of the field. There's a bracket right here that sets the tension on this spool, so as you're driving the other end, it don't come off too fast and get your wire all tangled up. When you get to the other end of the field, you would stop. If you had any wire left, you would take this spool off and set it at that end of the field. Okay. When you got your wire all rolled out, you turned around and you're ready to come back, you would take this other lever, you take this lever with the wire hooked to one of the knobs, and you take it and you try and pull it so you keep the same amount of tension each time. And you would move it to the very middle of your corn planter. In a field, the ground would not be so hard and these stakes would go all the way to the ground. You would then move your marker out. You'd have something to drive by when you came back. You then put your wire in here. You clip it up here. And you're ready to start planting. As you start planting down the row, every time you come to one of these little knots, you would catch in here and plant corn. You plant all the way to the other end. When you get to the other end, you flip this little lever here, and it drops this off. Your wire falls off. You turn around, you come back the other way. You turn around, stop, and then you got to take your wire again from the other end and move it again over to the middle of your planter. This way, you drag your wire all the way across the field, planting, until you get done.
Okay.
Well, when you're all done planting, you would turn your horses around to be ready. You have to roll this wire all back up on that spool. You run the wire through this little thing in the tongue, all the way back under your spreader, and again onto your spool. There's a little mechanism here on this sprocket that if you flip it, it puts this sprocket in gear, so when this wheel turns, it turns this chain and rolls up this wire. You would start going backwards or to the other end of the field, rolling your wire up. You would sit on your planter like this. You would put the wire through here, and as you're driving your horses and it's rolling the wire up, you can move this back and forth and roll your wire up the way it rolls evenly. You have to get off on every end, move your wire, and set it back up and everything. But it also, on your turnaround on the ends, your horses get a chance to rest. A lot of guys said that if they had a good, fast walking team of horses, they could get 20 acres a day. Some claim they could get 22. Better, faster walkers your horses are, the wider they want to spread out, the easier it is to plant corn with horses, because you can plant straighter. If you get a team that's real slow walking and wandering, they go quite a bit of difference wandering around the field.